Hello everybody, Burnedoutguy here, and welcome back to Foundry. Alright, so last episode we got this ignium water setup thing done there finally. That took a good portion of the episode, and that was all to make steam. So that way we're sending that juice down below to the thermal generators, and they're making steam with that. And the steam we're going to be brought back upstairs. Then that steam is going to be made over here. It's going to be used over here, sorry. We need to start making this stuff right here, I believe. Yes. And then we also need to make this too as well on the other side. I think that's what it is. Liquid polymer. When was liquid polymer again? This one. The yellows aren't the same. Oh, that's why it looks weird. The yellows aren't the same. Developers, your color coding is garbage. They don't look the same. All right, so we'll have to do that on the other side, which I think I already placed down, so that's not a big deal. Liquid polymer comes from crude olemet. So that is set up over here. The crude olemet one. I think that's what this one's going to be. I haven't set any of these up, and I should have done this the last episode before I left so I don't confuse myself. But yeah, I think this one here is going to make these. We'll make the liquid polymer gas here, right? Was it to... And we'll copy these over here. Bam. Okay, so that's what that's going to be. Okay, so yeah, this is a dual stage thing. So we got to put the steam in through it. And then in just another distillation column, we put that in there. All right. That's good. I know where we're going. So here we're going to make the high stuff. Copy that. Oh, copy. There we go. And then on the other side, we're going to have to make this stuff here, the high density olemet stuff. Copy that. There, and then that will go into here. Then these two together mixed into here will make our rubber sheets, and then we'll have a nice big long production line of rubber. And then those will go into here. They will get shipped over to our production, and we should be good to go from there to use them anyways, right? Yeah. All right. So let's slowly start hooking all this up, and we'll get it making its juice and all that good stuff. All right. So let's start with this one here. So for our oil patch that's here, I'm not 100% sure how I want to divide that. I was thinking about maybe putting it all into like one big line, and then have the big line go underneath, and then you can siphon off from a small line. Maybe that might be a little bit better. Not quite sure. I think you can obviously fit more in a bigger pipe than you can in the smaller ones, right? So we got the pipeline, but I don't know if we should be like hooking this up to like a tank and then pumping it out from there. I don't think so. I don't think that's really necessary. I think they should be able to pump all of that into a pipeline, fill it up, and yeah, that's what I'm gonna try anyways. We'll go back and we'll get a bunch of stuff to make a bigger pipeline, and then that way we can hook all of these into one pipeline, have them come underneath, and then we can have the three sections, or the two sections, this beginning part and this last part over here, split the oil content. All right, so that sounds like a good plan. Let me try that. All right, so the idea is going to be that this is all going to pump into these. This is going to get separated into the smaller pipes. So we'll have the oil being fed in the opposite directions as need be. Then there's also a pollutant gas that's got to come out. So we're going to have to siphon that off. It's on this side for this side, and this side for on this side. So we're gonna bring them all off and we're gonna put them into here. One of these will be more than sufficient to take on all of the demand for that. So I'm not really worried about having more of them. And then the gas always comes out on the outside. I think it's like that for that side too. Yeah. So then we'll have lines coming down and then joining here to go into this tank here. So hopefully I left enough room for that. Let's have a look now to make sure. Man, just enough room. Things are gonna get tight. Things are gonna get tight. All right, let's work on the fart gas stuff there. There you go. So all the fart gas should go into here. Have that all being piped down to the bottom. That's pretty good. They look pretty good like this, I think. Now we just got to deal with the liquid polymer that's going to come out of these things. Okay, and that puts all the polymer into the big tank over here. So now all we have to do is pretty much we'll hook up the oil, and that should be good to go. Which I'll probably do now, and then we could start working on all the stress factors that are going to start happening. So yeah, let me go and hook all this up, and we'll pipe it into here. And then we also got to bring power over here. Oh, what a pain in the ass, too. Alright, yeah, let's do all that. Now, we got power going all the way to the pumps here. So now we're pumping oil up into these lines here. So that's good. I guess we just got to hook up some power to these things here now. There you go. Now that's pumping oil to all of these things. Now these should be making... Yeah, there we go. So that should all be making polymer juice. And that should just eventually make its way into here, right? Should. Oh, this is going to need power. Yes, yes. There we go. And now we're making polymer liquid over here. That's beautiful. Good stuff. So now let's go on to the next phase and make the high stuff. High olumet oil. I think that's the next stuff we got to make. We got the pipe going all the way down over here and making its way up over here. So now we just got to power these things and then put it into these machines here and see how that goes. Okay, so there we go. We got both of these hooked up. So now we're pumping oil into those. I don't see any stress down here, so that's really good. I guess I don't have to put any extra pumps or anything down here, so that's great. Great, 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 great. Now we just got to hook up the waste gas and then pump the gas, the fuel into here or whatever. At impure high density olumet oil. Alright, let's put on one of these things here too. So similar to the other side, we're going to just put one of these here and we'll have all of these being funneled into this one down here. I'll do the same thing as I did in the other one. I'll have them on the ground floor and have them being all pumped into here. So let's get that hooked up. So there's one last thing we got to hook up is the steam. So before I think we hook up the steam, we're going to hook up the output for the oil that we're going to make first. Steam goes down the middle and so does the output of the oil to the... So I think what I'll do is I'll put the steam maybe in the middle and then we'll do the oil on the top. Yeah, something like that. Alright, let me figure that out and we'll get that going. So there we go. Everything is hooked up and ready to go. The only thing left I got to do is add this little pipe right here. Bam. And we should be making that stuff. There's a steam going in. Crude oil. Isn't that what I'm pumping here is crude oil, right? Oh. Ah, crap. I mixed it up. I put the outputs on the outside and shit. That's an easy fix though. Alright, so that's better. Just had to move this pipe back a little bit and push that through the middle. Now I can hook these up to the big tank and then we should be okay to go for the high stuff there. high density crap. Alright, so let's put these in and we'll go from there. I didn't need that one. There we go. I think we got that all hooked up now. Now we're making the high density Willamette oil stuff. That's good, that's good. Is it just like an intermittent thing? Or takes time? Oh no. Did I screw something else up here? Oh, no, okay, steam. Okay, so there's no steam coming up. Why is there no steam coming up? I see juice going down. Let's go find out why there's no steam. Okay, so there's steam here. Doesn't seem to... Oh, okay, right here. I see why. Bam! No? That didn't give it power? What? There's no power over here? What? Should be power. No power. Oh, there might not be power hooked up to this elevator. Well, let's go solve that. Alright. Okay. So by hooking this up to there, and then that up to there, we brought power over here, so... Hey, it works. That's good. So now we got power to the elevator, we got steam upstairs, we got these pumping out. Good stuff, good stuff. So now we just gotta go and make the other crap here, which is the high density Willamette oil. That will go into here, and then the combination of these two will make our rubber. So we're getting there, slow but steady. Alright, let's keep pounding away on this thing here. So now we gotta remove the oil that's in here and process it through these stuff here. Does it require anything? Just the oil, right? Yeah, and then we got like some fart gas that we gotta get rid of. Alright. There we go. And the first part we'll hook up is going to be the oil part. So at least these will all start to actually do something. And then now we'll hook up the fart gas stuff. So that will be the exits of this stuff here. And we'll do a little burny thing over here like we've been doing with the rest of them. And we'll put those ones on the floor. And yeah, so it'll be the same thing as the other side. There we go. That's all the fart gas out. Now we just got to hook up the exits, which is going to be pretty tight, but I think it's going to be okay. Be able to just go and do something like this, and then put pipes on both sides here. Nope, not there. I gotta make more pipes, or is that just in the way of that machine? Oh no, I'm out of pipes. There you go, and that's all being hooked up now. Now we got all kinds of high density Willamette oil there being created. That's good, that's good. So now I guess the last thing we gotta do is just hook up these two tanks to here, and we can start making some rubber. Wow, good stuff, man, good stuff. Let's get this going. So apparently I was smart enough to set this up so that way all the oils are going to be all on the right sides. And yeah, I'm not going to have to do anything janky. Now I just got to copy all of these recipes in here just to verify that I placed all these right, but I'm pretty sure I did. Pretty happy. Good job, Bog. Past Bog. Future Bog. Present Bog is happy. Oh god. Now if we look, we got all the purple juice on the outside and then the yellow juice on the inside. That's going to be great for hooking all of these up, so I'll go and do that now, and yeah. Nice. So there, that is all pretty much all hooked up. We have the yellow stuff coming through the middle and that going through the sides. I'm going to hook this up right away, actually, and put power through it, so that way we can find out if we have any stress points. I think would be a good thing to do. Alright, so it doesn't look like we got any stress points. That's friggin' awesome. Okay, so now let's put in a bunch of what do I want to do here? Got one of these. We'll use. We got those. So where do I want this? Obviously, I want it before those. I think we'll go something along the lines of like this. And then we'll just have the belts come out on the exterior side. And then this side will be the side that we load the two ships up with. Yeah, I think that looks good. Alright, so I'll go put in all these loaders and we'll hook them all up, make sure that they're all on output. There we go, and I think we'll have something like this happen. And then you guys can happily get it all filled up nice in there. And then I will do the outputs on this side. And we'll just do 2 inputs on each one of these. There we go. So now we got all the rubber going into these carriers. And the only thing I could see that we had rubber for was the tier 4 belt stuff. So I guess that's pretty much all the stuff that we need the rubber for, right? Like I said, I go here, we find rubber here. Just the tier 4 belts. Rubber stuff there. There was rubber in the freight elevator, the tier 4 freight elevator. And I didn't see it anywhere else. Like I looked through all the other stuff, so if I miss anything else, let me know. Like I know it's just the belts and the freight elevator, but other than that, I really don't know what else the rubber is going to be used for. Maybe future tense things are going to happen with it, but yeah, I think in the next episode, what we'll do is we'll get all this hooked up and we'll look into creating the rest of the robots that we have newly unlocked. So if we look here, we got all these new robots that we can create. So I think we'll get into creating all these production lines the next time around. I'm hoping they're not going to be too difficult to create. Maybe they will need the rubber that we're making here, so that would be kind of cool. Would make sense if they're underwater aquatic stuff. They would need some rubber as sealants, and I was just guessing. But yeah, we'll leave that as that. I did do one of the pump jacks. Finish this one off while we were doing the episode. And another thing too, we haven't really looked at much was what's going on with our little space station. So R&D, I haven't really looked at this much in the last couple of episodes, but we have a lot of upgrading we can do. So I'll go ahead and I'll upgrade all of that. The R&D lab itself, we could probably upgrade like a bajillion times to earn more experience. Station upgrade wise, I think we're pretty much well done everything. We just have to upgrade the extra stuff. I don't think there's really anything else in here that we need to upgrade. Spaceships, and well, we pretty much will have everything unlocked, and we have enough stuff coming into town or into our little base. Other than that, finances wise, I think we're doing pretty damn good. Yeah, I got no complaints on how much money we're making. That's for damn sure. So, but yeah, next episode we'll get those other robots hooked up, and we'll bring some rubber wherever it's needed. Probably one of these will have to go towards the belts. But other than that, I think the other one will probably have to go to robots. I'm assuming that's what these next ones are going to be for. So, but I hope you enjoyed the episode, everybody. That is rubber. Oh god. Like, subscribe, peace, take care, and we'll see you next time. Oh boy.